the Overengineered Podcast. You're joined here today by Cy Walker.
Colton Atchison.
Avery Gilstrap and our special guest,
Kevin Yeager.
All right, and I just want to open up, talk about your job description, anything you've done in the past.
All right. It's fun to be with you guys today. I appreciate the opportunity at the school for the leadership to be kind of in a different light. So thank you guys for the invitation. This is my 8th year as a principal here at Westville. I spent 7 years in the middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it, until we made the change. And before that, I taught basically every social studies subject that we offer here. 14 years in the classroom doing social studies. Did U.S. history the second half of that. So like 7 years of that was doing what Mr. Talbot does now. So love history, and that's a big part of my job.
Open up with some questions. I mean, like, how do you feel about students pheromone maxing in the school?
Say that one more time.
How do you feel about students pheromone maxing in the school?
Pheromone maxing. You're going to have to explain what that is.
So it's basically like students who refuse to shower.
It's always an interesting conversation.
Some people argue that. Some people argue that.
people like to think that
The natural
ladies will love
scent.
their natural scent
Yeah.
instead of taking a shower, which, by the way, does not work.
Yes,
Please.
in my
Please don't.
experience, that's never been successful. Those kids usually end up in my office with a very awkward conversation about bathing and
Yes.
good hygiene. And,
I can see how that gets awkward.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So when we have planned for future bonds or grants, what's that looking like?
Mr. Swank probably would be better able to address this in a more comprehensive way. But one of the things that Mr. Swank's really done a good job with, which his job really focuses on the finances and construction, those things I do with more students and stuff, but we're involved in all that. But he has worked and attempted multiple grant opportunities now. The last grant was a massive grant through the Tobacco Endowment, potential for several $1 million. And we spent 6 months or more doing a ton of research, putting together a very good proposal to build an event center that was going to have, it was going to be a public event center. So it was going to be available to the community while we use it as well. And it could host a lot of different events. There was a banquet hall in there for, if we wanted to host an FFA competition and invite different schools to come in and compete, if we wanted to host some kind of a town like daddy-daughter dance event or something like that, there was a really neat element to it. There was a gym portion that could be converted into multiple things, and it was like could be a wrestling arena. It could be doing any type of athletic competition, help our little league community, stuff like that. And we progressed through that. It had a weight room in it. It had like an exercise facility for the community, so if people wanted to access it at night. It was a really good opportunity, and they spoke highly of our proposal. It got a lot of feedback. Part of what hurt us, I think, was the community. We've already benefited from the TSAT grant in several ways. The town has. So there was some competition there, but so that was one opportunity. And then we're also working through a FEMA proposal, which would build a storm shelter facility. So it would double as either classroom space or an athletic facility or PE facility, whatever we want to do with it. But its main purpose would be a community-wide storm shelter. So it would have enough space in it that basically the entire town within a certain radius could get in that facility and be safe from the tornado. So it was a need, and that's still an opportunity. A lot of that is dependent on federal funding. Some of that's been cut recently, and you guys are aware of that, I'm sure. But so those are some things that Mr. Swank has tried. We're currently looking at other options. I think bonding is something that will probably be discussed as we move into the future. I don't want to get premature on that, so I'll let Mr. Swank address that when he talks to you guys. But we want involvement. We want student involvement. Mr. Swank has presented an opportunity to be on his student advisory council. Have you guys seen that?
Almost all I can do is about it.
Yeah. One of you guys would be a great candidate for that. So consider applying to be a part of that. And we want a diverse group. So we want somebody from the athletic world, somebody from the FFA world, somebody from the TSA world, somebody from the band world. We want to try to really engage the whole school so that we're getting a fair understanding of what the needs are for our students before we propose an actual bond. So we want to include everybody. It's not about one particular group. It's about what's best for the student body as a whole. So that's kind of what we're working on now. It's in the preliminary stages of the bond stuff. So
Speaking of student interaction, we've had some questions like what students personally can do to help pass a bond.
Sure.
Besides just what you recently just said, joining that student body advisory. Yeah.
So my advice to students is to, first of all, don't be personal. We don't want to attack anybody. All of our community has diverse needs and financial burdens that a lot of times we don't understand. And if a person is in a place where they can't financially invest, that's fair for them to be able to say, I can't afford this right now. And we need to respect that. But with that being said, if we have community members who can contribute, I think the best thing that the students can do is become very informed about why we're doing it and how it will serve students individually. And then just talk about that. Just be involved in that discussion. Anything we build, if it's an ag space, if it's a gym space, if it's a TSA classroom, I mean, we would love. You guys are doing some really cool things with the TSA program. The STEM things that are going on, the technology, the drone stuff that you're talking about doing, this podcast. I mean, I would love for Miss Thompson to have a classroom that was large, that had a studio like this in it, that was built, not just crammed in here, but was built for a studio.
Yeah.
That had the right sound barrier and all the stuff that goes into that. So, if whatever we agree on, that's the kind of stuff that we would need students to say, man, I'm excited about this. This is how it's going to benefit me. But even if we build a gym, to say, yeah, I may not play basketball, but I'm in PE every hour. And right now we're stuck in a classroom and we can't go outside because it's too cold. I need a place to be able to get my physical activity in, just kids being informed on the real benefits and helping us communicate that. I think
we've been talking about passing the torch on to other kids like juniors or sophomores. They can pass the torch of the podcast tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
I want this to go as long as possible, as long as it can.
Yeah, you bet.
Oh, yeah. Which we're all seniors here.
Yeah,
So no
we're
one's gonna
all
be
leaving
back.
besides our IT guy, Scout. He'll be on here eventually.
Maybe.
What is your, how would you say like the school lunch has changed? I think it's a lot better.
lunch?
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
way better than it was last year. I think that Mr. Sisler's done a great job.
So one of the best things we did from a lunch perspective is Mr. Sitzler, he works for us. His whole purpose is just feeding you guys. So he's not worried about, trying to make money. It's not a business for him. He's just trying to do the best he can with the money he has, which, when you hire an outside company, which we'd had for years, they did a decent job. They fed nutritious food and stuff. It wasn't always the best quality and the portions weren't always great. When you have a company, their objective is to make money. That's, when we had the food company, at the end of the day, they have to be profitable or it's not successful for them. So they're in the back of their mind, even if they're fixing you guys a good meal, they're asking themselves, is this going to cost too much? Should we do something different? Mr. Sitzler doesn't have those restrictions. I mean, he can spend what he needs to spend, and he's going to take care of you first. And then if the budget gets tight, then he can say, okay, what do I got to do to save a little money? But he's not looking to make money. And that's the big difference. And he's very passionate about what he does. He's got quite a bit of food experience from his various jobs. I'm excited to see you guys happy because that's always been a complaint for years. I've had kids come to me and say, Mr. Yeager, this food's terrible, and trying to come, support them through that.
No, I think he's doing a good job. I sent him an email a couple weeks ago telling him how good of a job he was doing.
Yeah,
Got an email back saying thank you to me, but shout out Mr. Sisler.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. He appreciated it. That's a good initiative, man.
Yeah, and I've heard some kids talking bad about it at the beginning of the year, but all of that subsided. I mean, I don't think anybody's truly disappointed.
Well, and they got to remember too, being fair, it's a $2 lunch. So you're never going to get steak and potatoes for $2.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to go to Red Lobster and get a lobster tail.
So, sometimes I think we're a little bit spoiled, to be honest with you.
Amen.
So, if they keep that in mind, this is a $2 meal. It's a pretty good $2 meal. Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
How do you feel experience this year? What do you, as far as Westville High School is concerned, do you feel like we offer a good experience to our students?
This is definitely, personally for me, this is my first free dress school.
What?
Free dress school. So this is the first time I've been able to wear like casual clothing. That's been a great change for me. I've always been in khakis and denims. It was treacherous.
Yeah.
So don't bring uniforms back. Is that what you're saying?
I understand the prospect of a uniform and what it builds for students as a whole. It like builds respect, and like obviously you're going to have uniforms at certain jobs. Like I just don't see the need, and I like this a lot better. Not to mention I have had generally better success than my other schools, just because I think the teachers are just more personal. Like most of them like live around here and they know the students around here, so they have a better incentive to get to know students because they've seen them. So yeah,
I agree. And our staff, they're good people. And, we're not perfect mistakes, and we get frustrated just like anybody. But all of my teachers, I feel like, love kids and want, even if they come across as firm or have high expectations, however that appears, they want what's best for the kid. Everything they're doing is motivated by, I'm trying to do what I believe is right for our kids. So, sometimes that gets misinterpreted, and, there's always a little bit of conflict on different issues, but our staff, I feel the same way. They're good people. They're good people.
Yeah. Well, how about you guys?
Well, I feel like the environment has gotten better. I don't know if it's just because of the lunch improvements or just senioritis hitting me really hard. I feel like everything's just gotten better the past year or two.
Good.
This is my second year here. I started here last year. I liked it a lot. Definitely involved in FFA, as you know. My dad was an ag teacher at Stillwell, and then things happened over there. But I came here to like have a fresh start, and it's been great. I mean, the kids are great. I've made a lot of friends. The teachers are awesome. I think I'm gonna go on a side says they really do care about you, and they want to make sure that you're in like a safe space, and like there's no bad question, there's no bad answer. Like they just it's awesome.
Freedom to like you got a lot of freedom.
Freedom for sure.
Yeah.
This like to be who you are, like socially and like physically, you have a lot of freedom. Like the school campus is so open, and I love that. I really do love that.
Yeah, I wish it was tighter. I think you guys traveling, and unfortunately, if we build inevitably, as we build a whole new high school somewhere, which is probably not likely, then the movement aspect of the school is always going to be a challenge because it's just we've built this structure over the last 100 years, and it's just kind of one piece at a time. So you end up with a campus.
I think that's also why I like it. It's just because it looks old. It's an old school, and it's like I just like go to school here. I don't know.
It's old fashioned, and it's like really, it's old fashioned also in the sense of respect. I feel like a lot of older people like value respect a lot, and I feel like this school does too, and it definitely shows.
Especially during like when people come and like present, I feel like that the auditorium while they're speaking is like dead silent. I think
man, I appreciate that as a principal too. You're right. Our culture, we've got a great student body, guys. We're not without issues. I mean, we've got kids that have bad days and they make poor choices, and that's normal. But man, I hear some other administrators when I go to trainings and stuff, they share their experiences,
their horror stories.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, like I said, we have bad days, so we're not perfect, but as a general rule, we don't deal with the same degree of difficulty and issues that other schools deal with. It seems, I mean,
like in comparison to like Tulsa, I mean, I haven't seen any gun violence in Tulsa, but I always heard about it. There's always talk about it.
Yeah. It's a different environment for sure. I love doing this here because it is family. It's kind of like what you were saying, side that it is, these people raised me. This is my community. I was born in Westville. I was born in Solomon Springs and lived here my whole life. I graduated from Westville, went to school at NSU, came back to Westville, and I've been here my whole career. It's different when you are dealing with somebody you feel like you know and you have a personal interest in the success of those people, you're willing to do things that you probably would do at another place because it's family. Most of you guys, I know somebody in your family. So it's very tight-knit community, and that makes it special.
Me and Avery are fairly new. I came in middle of the year, freshman year. Even now, I still feel included as like that family aspect, even though I don't really.
For sure. I mean, last year was my first year here, and I'm from Stillwell, so like I've been through Westville a lot. I've been in Westville a lot. But I mean, being here for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years when we graduate, but it feels like I've been here my whole life. It feels like I went to middle school with you guys. Yeah, just feels like I've been here forever, and I haven't.
Even then, because most of my life was in Tulsa, and I have fond memories of Tulsa as well as like the bad memories of Tulsa. Even then, I don't know, it's so much more relaxed and just generally chill out here. I really like that.
You guys feel like, as a student, as with your individual interests and aptitude, do you guys feel like that the school has provided opportunities for you to do what you enjoy? Like, do we offer enough experiences where your individual interests and passions have been able to be developed, or do we need to offer other things?
I mean, for sure, I think we don't have everything, but we're a small school. We can't have everything just yet unless we build more. But I mean, like every interest that I've found, I mean, I enjoy talking to people. I haven't talked into like huge crowds, but it's what I'm doing right now. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing esports, and we're having good success in that too. I'm not like a major sports person, but I've had several opportunities to join sports. I've been asked to join sports heavily.
Which that's also what makes this podcast good. We have people from very different aspects of the school. Avery's involved in ag and poultry judging, size and esports. I'm in athletics, football, track, powerlifting. We get aspects from each branch of the school, I feel like, which makes it really well-rounded.
I think so. I mean, it's not at every school you can just like, hey, can I start a podcast? And everybody's like, sure,
Not in every school, if we had a podcast, we'd have this much freedom. I mean, like, Thompson's really just allowed us to do whatever we wanted to do. Not as in, like, we're allowed to act up or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, so much freedom to, like, choose the way we want this to go directionally.
Yeah. No, it's been great.
Yeah. Me and Mr. Swank had talked a lot about using social media as a way to communicate and do a better job of informing our community and our parents and being visible. Sometimes the school, I think, for the community can feel like they don't have access or like they don't know what's going on. And we want to address that. I mean, we hate that aspect. If anybody feels like, I don't know what my kids are doing on the basis, I mean, we wouldn't want to be approachable, something where parents feel like they understand what's happening in their kids' lives and those kind of things. And this podcast is just another vehicle to make that happen. So we love it. I mean, when you guys talked about doing this, I think it's such a great opportunity for different groups within the school, different individuals within the school, to just open the door to their identity, to the community, so they can get to know. I mean, a lot of people know my name. They may not know me. And so this is just another way for me to get connected with the community. And you guys are doing a good job of creating that opportunity for not just me, but for the whole school. So
yeah. And
it's a great resource.
I think it goes a lot deeper than TSA. I feel like, let's say if like we need this, but I feel like just to have like different kind of people on here to ask them how it's going in Westville, just to make sure that everybody's doing good. And I mean, we had the basketball boys in here, all the new ones. We had Buck, Lala, Nemo, LD. They said they loved it here. They said it's been great. The basketball team's pretty good this year, but they've enjoyed it. I think you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they all said they love the change of environment. They didn't say they missed much about their old school. I mean, one did say he missed the girls, but I don't think that's going to bring it back. So I think he's stuck here.
You guys, I think it's just it's hard. When you leave the school, most people go and kind of hang out with the same group of people every time. So when I go home, I'm with my family or my extended family and maybe a few friends. So a lot of times it's hard for us to get outside of our circle. And I think social media provides a way for us to do that. So people that I may not interact with, may not ever talk to, this is a way for them to kind of get to hear a little bit of what's going on and get to know me a little better, and whoever you bring on. I mean, the basketball boys, they're going to be interacting with who they interact with, but now you guys have opened a door where a whole different group of the community can get to know them. And that's such it's an opportunity for everybody that gets involved with this podcast. So I keep doing that. Keep it broad and keep engaging everybody you can engage, because I think it's a great for our school.
Agree.
Yeah. Another question I was asked a few times when asking people questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of backtracking to what we were talking about earlier. But what was the most common disciplinary action?
The tardiness has been a little bit of a challenge this year, which I think that it's been better. I sent an email out. Probably kids mad at me because I sent an email out to the teachers about a month ago and told them to be more firm with their policy and expecting kids to be on time to class.
Miss Coleman got the message.
Yeah,
Because she is like, run, hurry up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the teachers have responded well to that. And, I hope students can understand that it's really out of a place of care for them. When you are late to class, all it does is prevent learning from taking place. It slows down the process of the class, and you're either affecting your opportunity to learn that day, or you're taking away from the other student's opportunity to learn, because the teacher has to reset. They have to deal with your tardiness, and they have to start all over again and reintroduce the topic or whatever. So it's just better for everybody if we're on time. So that, from a minor perspective, I would say tardiness has probably been a pretty common issue. And I think marijuana and THC, obviously, from a bigger perspective, has created a challenge for all schools. When we legalized marijuana, it made it very similar to what tobacco was in my childhood. Marijuana has become that familiar to our student body. So inevitably, we've had more cases of that. And it's not out of control by any means, but we've had a handful of issues with that. And again, it's out of a place of concern and safety for those students. We're never out to punish. Any discipline. Things I hope all students understand is it's never about punishing a student. It's always about discipline, which means that you're trying to teach, even when you have a consequence for an action, you're trying to help a student learn so that they don't make those same choices again. So that's, and I think it's probably going to be a process of 20 years or so, just like the tobacco, of helping people understand the consequences, the health side effects, the impact it has on your mental development, all that stuff. So I think as we learn more about that, then society will address those issues as they need to. But so that's been a somewhat of an issue this year, not out of control. I think having the drug dogs, canines come on campus. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Hey, don't bring it to school, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I think those dogs are insane.
Yeah.
I think
they're good.
They can smell like ammo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but it's not okay, that makes me sound suspicious, but I don't know. It just makes me a little nervous. But I haven't had them I actually haven't seen them at all. I know they've been here. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, we don't do an extensive search every time. It's random. We're not targeting anybody. There's no specific focus. They show up, we give them some random locations, and we go to those locations. If somebody has something, then it is what it is. But again, even with those canines, the desire is to limit, any type of firearm or drugs issues on our campus, trying to have a deterrent for those things to keep you guys safe. That's really at the bottom of it. It's just another reason for a student to not bring that stuff to school, to protect our student body. And and as a principal, it always weighs in the back of your mind, student safety, and am I doing everything I can do to make sure everybody's safe and nobody's in danger?
How do you feel the students are handling the cell phone policy?
kind of to give you background, that started off really good. After 3 weeks, we had very few cell phone issues. Then we went through a little window there where we kind of expected it. Those kind of ramped up, and kids were testing those boundaries. Are we really going to enforce the policy and stuff? And that lasted another 3 or 4 weeks. But since then, probably since the end of October, I mean, it's been very minimal. I mean, students have generally respected the policy and done what we've asked of them, and it's been good. I mean, it's a state law, so we just have to enforce it. But I feel like that it's been better for the student body because you guys seem to be talking more, socially engaged more.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you guys think about it?
I feel like it makes just the social aspect a lot better. Instead of like you're done with schoolwork, you just get on your phone and
Yeah.
you just sit there and waste out 10 minutes of class not doing anything.
Yeah. Digital zombie.
Yeah. I can't lie. When I first heard about it, I wasn't mad, but I was just like, are we kidding? But like, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I think it's better as well. I think some students have brought up the fact that they should be allowed during lunch. I think it's like a year or two of the school has to enforce no phones at all, and then afterwards they do what they want with it. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see the aspect of like having your phone at lunch, but like I don't think it's that.
See, if we had our phones, this wouldn't have happened. I bet it would happen. I bet we would have just been
Sitting around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, Si. There is according to the law right now. Now the legislature can change it. Obviously, they can amend the law and they can do what they wanted to with it. But right now, we are required to enforce it. But there will come a time when they allow the school to have freedom in that again. Man, I think the benefits outweigh the cost at this point because I've just seen what it's done to our student body. So I think it's worth it,
Oh, yeah.
So.
I feel like it's a great change.
Well, I think that's just about as much time as we have right now.
Did you hear the bell ring?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
It was a great
Well,
time.
Yeah.
Before we end, just for the sake of the episode, can you look in the camera for a little bit so we can get a good AI thumbnail of your face?
It's a pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to like putting it out for people to see. We're ready for Mr. Swank. So
All right. Thanks
All
for
right.
the invitation.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You guys have other questions that come up down the road, feel free. Have Ms.
Mhm.
Thompson let me know, and I'll be glad to come back over.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.